Strictly music, only music, and nothing else. And we're going to go ahead and get into an album review today. But before we do that, I want you guys to like, comment, and subscribe on my previous videos. If you haven't, go check those out. Those need a little bit of love and affection. Thank you for checking out the videos that I dropped last week. Those videos are performing very, very, very well. And go ahead and subscribe as we are on the way to 200 subs. A humble number, but I am a humble man, and I do believe you guys will help me get there. And thank you for those that have already chosen to help me get my goal. Today we're going to be reviewing the album that Offset just dropped. I do believe is a self-titled album. I don't know his real name, so correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe I should have done the research there, but I didn't. The album is titled Kiari. It's an 18-track project that just came out 12 a.m. today, August 22nd. And I do believe that this album is very enjoyable. It's not as enjoyable as I anticipated it to be before it dropped, but it is not bad by any stretch of the imagination. The standouts on this album to me are his songs with Key Glock. He also has a song with John Legend called Never Let Go, which I believe is a homage to Takeoff. So that heartfelt track definitely added to the overall variety of it. We see that come in at track 16, so he pretty much finishes the album out with a heartfelt homage to his brother. He also has a pretty good song with Ty Dolla $ign, which was good. He has some songs with Gunna, YFN Lucci, Tizo Touchdown, and which I do believe were okay. NBA Youngboy also makes an appearance. I found it a bit funny that his Gunna feature was shortly after his YFN Lucci feature, and if you know, you know why I found some comedy in that. But in my personal opinion, the real standout here would be the one with Key Glock and the Bodies single, which was already out. So they did do a good job of picking the single, because the single still withstands the test of time. After the album comes out, the single is still one of the better songs on this project. Now, track 1 starts off pretty decent. I like how that came in. I like the beat selection of pretty much every single song on here. The subject matter is to be expected. As 1/3 of the Migos, it's pretty much what we can expect Offset or Amigo to pretty much make in their album, so nothing really spectacular there. He did have a couple of songs towards the end, like the John Legend one, the one with Tizo Touchdown, stuff like that, that kind of threw me for a loop a little bit to show his diversity. Also is a diverse artist, but he still stays to his niche sound and his 1/3 of the Migos style sound. It's not the most turn up album that he's ever dropped, but it is enjoyable, and it's still enjoyable, and it will continue to be enjoyable. I do believe this is one of those albums, the more you play it, the more enjoyable it will become. I did find myself laughing a little bit at the feature with Tizo Touchdown, not because it was bad, but because we just constantly see Tizo Touchdown on all these albums, and we don't mention Tizo at all. Go ahead and do your research on some of the albums that have come out in the past year, maybe year and a half, and see just how many of those projects that Tizo Touchdown was on. He's just quietly collecting the infinity songs of these albums, and he goes about his way, and he don't really mention them much. Tizo Touchdown is a very, very, very talented artist, and he proves that once again on this project. So there are a couple slaps on here. He does have a couple playable hits that I feel like would do well on the radio. I think that this might do well on the I wouldn't say a street level, maybe a bit before that, but I don't think it's gonna create massive waves. Like I said, it did fall a little short of the hype that in the anticipation that I had for it, but I don't think it's a bad album by any stretch of the imagination. I think the more you play this, the more enjoyable it will become, and I will continue to play this because I do enjoy it. I don't see this doing maybe more than maybe 60,000 first week, which really doesn't matter to me. I mean, it's strictly music and only music and nothing else. I'm not really going to judge the body of work based on the first week projections, but some of my listeners do enjoy that stuff, so I figured I would throw my hat in the race in terms of what I believe he would do this first week. So out of an 18-track project, I think 18 was a pretty good number. I think they all contributed to the overall body of work. Maybe you could leave out 2, but realistically, I think 18 was good. Not a lot of artists I want to hear 18 tracks from. He managed to pull this off pretty decent. I don't really have any complaints about this. I do, like I said, like the track with Key Glock the most, I think that's the best one. And then, I would say the Bodies single with JID, and then I like the Key Glock one the most. and you know, he just has a couple funny ones on there, like all of my hoes are still my hoes. That's for sure. You know, so it's enjoyable, man. It's not too bad. I think this is a good album to end the summer out with. It's like that drive back home after the beach music. It's not too in your face. It's not too introspective. It gives you just enough to do what you got to do. I think this is a perfect album to end the summer off with. I think he chose a good time to drop, so it's enjoyable, man. I don't have any complaints about this. I don't have any complaints about this. Now, there are a couple artists that did drop the same day as him. We had anticipated, or there was speculation, that Baby's album would be pushed back to today. I did not believe that was the case because I didn't think he wanted to compete with Set's release. But there are some artists that have dropped today, so we got action here. We got Ghostface Killah, we got Big X The Plug, both of which I will be doing videos on shortly, so look out for that. They do want some action, and we're gonna see out of all three of these releases who performs the best. I do not believe it will be Offset. I do think it will be Ghostface. And Big X The Plug and Set is a toss-up because Big X is pretty popular. His music is very enjoyable. A bit repetitive, but very enjoyable. I'm not going to get too much of my thoughts on that until I give it a listen, and then you can go ahead and tune in and see. So we're going to see out of those three, between Offset, Ghostface, and Big X, who comes out on top because they all dropped. All right. Strictly music, only music, and nothing else. Offset's album, Kiari, I give it... let's give it a 7 or an 8 out of 10. I can see an argument for 8. I can see an argument for 7. I'll go 7.8 out of 10. Not a bad album. I do believe if I play it 3 more times, put it in the car, put it on some large speakers, it'll hit even harder. So I give it a 7.8 out of 10. Strictly music, only music, and nothing else. Like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for all the support. Thank you for continuing to show me love as this channel continues to grow. And get at me, dog.